Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth.
Yay!
Yay! Today we're talking about 10 common weight loss mistakes, and believe me, I've made every single one of them, and some you've probably never even heard of. So I want to say, what do you think is anybody have a mistake that they totally know they're making and they should really make the effort to change that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Portion control sometimes.
Portion control. You need to watch last week's show.
Yeah.
First of all, you have a good laugh, but it really does give you an idea about portion control, because portion control is something that creeps up on you. You think, I started having only one pork chop, then all of a sudden I was having two. Or I was having one chicken thigh, then I was having two. Or I was getting the little potatoes, then all of a sudden I was getting, the big russet ones in the tin foil. Slowly but steadily, your portions get out of whack. And that's a good one, and that's why tracking is so important.
Right.
Because if you know, anybody else?
I know you need to eat 3 regularly spaced meals a day is a way to keep on track with your weight, and I don't always do that.
Well, there's always something new. There's always something new. Do you know last week, before I get to that, last week it said 3 glasses of champagne a day would ward off dementia. Well, because you're just so bambala, that you don't know. So, but now, yesterday, there was an article that wine is bad for you. And we've been hearing wine was good for you.
Right.
1 glass
Yeah.
of red.
It even said 1 glass.
Really?
1 glass a day. See how good that is?
Wow.
So now, what was it now? Oh, the 3 meals a day, and sometimes you don't get that. Now here's the newest thinking, and I think there's something to be said for it. It's 6 smaller meals. But, if we can't get 3 in, and I can't always get 3 in, because I don't always have time. I need to be more, sometimes, planning and preparing would be really important. So, so maybe it could be that you break it down. Like what you're saying you can't always get 3, but like your shake, you might have another one throughout the day if you liked it, or somehow make it, throw in a piece of fruit in it or something like that. But a lot of people have trouble, they think it's 3 meals a day, and they don't think little meals, they're thinking real big meals, and then 2 snacks. But you know what, that ends up being a lot of food.
Yeah, it does.
So the 6 mini dinners are pretty good, but that's pretty hard when we're this busy.
Oh, yeah.
In the winter it's better because I can leave stuff in the car,
Right.
but that doesn't always.
I used
Anybody
to
else?
meal prep on a Sunday, and it would take hours just to get your
Yeah.
5 meals if you make your 5 meals.
Yes, but you know what? I say if you have the food processor out, just get all those containers,
Yeah.
do all the carrots, do all the celery, do all the, get everything ready. And I can usually do it in about an hour and a half. But what kind of time does that save me during the week? Planning and preparing is the best thing ever. And now with crock pots and, hearty, you can make hearty, healthy soups and stews.
Right.
And then it's not nearly as bad. And, you can always have that more than once. But one of the things that we talked about today was there's a new diet out. There's always a new diet. And look, the first thing that it says is trying out every new diet. But this one says that you should have, the people went on that no-fat diet. And that was never good.
No.
That was a bad diet. Well, we did it. Our office, they had a film. We watched the film, and so of course we were like, okay, so we could do this. So we would go have big bowls of pasta because it was unlimited food. Anytime they tell you it's unlimited food, it's not true. Even with the fat diet, it's not true. So we would have big bowls of pasta, and at lunch we would get Miletti's grinders. Miletti's is a bread in this area. It's absolutely out of this world. We wouldn't have any cheese or mayonnaise on it, but it was a big, big grinder. All of us gained weight. Now, looking back on that, I realized that that was because, you know, what we were doing, we were in the perpetual cycle of sugar, which we talked about today. You know, where you eat sugar, you like it, you crave it, it has addictive things. And in like 1980, they did a study. Guess who funded the study? The sugar industry.
Of course.
You know, at a major Ivy League college, and they said that sugar was, you know, okay, after all, it's natural, right? And then, you know, out came the pyramid, and at the bottom of the pyramid, where you should have 6 to 8 servings a day, was all carbohydrates. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Bread, pasta, you know, all of that stuff, which now we know should go right up to the top of that. I mean, you need oil, of course, because, you know, you need your what's the word I'm looking for? Bones to be oiled.
Right.
You know, and you need good oil in your life.
You need your lubrication.
Right.
You need your lubrication. Oh, you're taking over for my Lucille who's not here, and I like somebody who fills in a sentence for me. Anyway, and then sugar, it leads to hunger and craving, and it spikes your blood levels, like we talked about earlier today, and then you get sleepy. So it's just the worst thing. So trying out every new diet is never a good plan. To me, it's you eat as healthy as you possibly can, keeping your calories in order, and trying to be nutritionally sound. See, and that's the thing. You know, like some people, and I am as guilty as the next person. You know, one of our girls, but she's lost 30 pounds, so, you know, I mean, I cannot even fault her, but she loves her plain donuts. Loves them. Am I right? Right? And she has 3 a week. Now, that's not nutritionally sound, but she's doing everything else. So that's her, you know, it's 80% you try to eat as healthy as you can, and 20% you're going to eat poison. I think it's hard to avoid.
Yeah, it's hard, especially if there's something that you really crave. And if you try to not have it, then you're going to just, when you finally do have it, go crazy eating it.
Or
You're
you'll
better
be
off.
looking for it.
Right, exactly.
But you'll keep
Right.
trying to satisfy whatever that
Right.
craving was
Right.
with every other thing in the world,
Right.
and you'll never be able to satisfy
No.
it. Remember the story about the eggplant parmesan?
Yeah.
Here, I don't think they know. One of the ladies lost 50 pounds. So what do her friends want to do to celebrate?
Eat.
Take her out for dinner. So true. So they were kind enough to tell her whatever restaurant she wanted to go to, and then she would be able to stay on track. And she wanted to go to this restaurant that had a particular Thai salad. She knew the calories. She was all set. Everything was fine. She goes in with her girlfriends. It goes like this: eggplant parmesan, eggplant parmesan, eggplant parmesan. And then what does she say?
Eggplant parmesan.
Yeah, she doesn't say the Thai salad. So she has eggplant parmesan. It's fine. You know what I mean? One bad meal, one bad day isn't going to make that much of a difference. But the problem is she was looking for that. That was the only week in the whole time she was with me that she ever gained weight. And she said, well, I had eggplant parmesan. No, you didn't have the Thai salad. So you need to go to the restaurant, have the Thai salad, and everything will be fine. And true enough, that was the last time she did not lose weight. And she got to about 65 pounds, and she was good. And then her job changed, and I don't get to see her as often. But she lost 65 pounds, and she was, you know, realizing that sometimes you have to give in to your cravings. Julie, you must give in to your cravings occasionally.
Sometimes, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah, that's always a good
You
thing.
always want progress and not perfection.
progress and not perfection.
Yeah, I like that.
Very
That's very
nice.
good.
Yeah, see, I have a smart audience. So, trying, so that was not dieting. You're not dieting, you're just editing your intake. Okay. Trying to out-exercise a bad diet. Well, that's a waste of time. And I have tried it a million times because I could exercise for a long time. And I will tell you the truth, I'll not be good at it. It doesn't work. I've tried it, it can't work. Now, of course, some of you are saying, don't worry, I won't over-exercise. I know that's true. But for me, that was always my go-to thing. Oh, I had pizza, let me spend 3 hours at the gym. You know, it was stupid, and it didn't work. It just simply did not work. Then there's this other thing, attempting to lose weight too fast. Now, that's not good. You can't lose weight one way and keep it off another. There is no way that will happen. You can't go on a pure, shake diet, like one of those Slim Fast or whatever those things are, which are just chemicals, I'm fairly certain. Please don't send me any letters or sue me. But, remember Oprah went on the OptiFast.
Yeah.
And she lost all that weight, and she was really thin, really thin. And she brought out that fat onto in the wagon. Yeah. And she said that weekend she gained 5 pounds.
Wow.
The minute she started eating real food.
Exactly.
So so you have to think that what am I not willing to give up? Most people aren't willing to give up pizza. That's the number one thing that I find. So if pizza's on your list of things that you cannot do without, I could do without pizza, but I can't do without cheeseburgers. So, everybody has their own thing. But you have to have pizza once in a while. You can't just not have pizza. So, and there's so many ways to do it. And we were talking today too, one of the other things that's so popular that people don't want to give up is pasta. But pasta is just going to turn to sugar in your body. And do you ever notice how tired you are after you have pasta? It's ridiculous. But how about spaghetti squash?
Oh, that's delicious.
It's so delicious. Why wouldn't we just eat that? And Lucy always tells us how she has the, circulator? Spiralizer, where she does zucchini and stuff. And she says it's just like,
Make the cauliflower mashed potatoes.
Oh.
And it tastes, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, those are good too.
Oh my goodness.
You can't tell the difference.
Roasted cauliflower too.
Yeah.
Really, a little garlic, a little tiny bit of olive oil, a little Parmesan cheese, roasted broccoli, roasted Brussels sprouts.
Those are good too.
Oh my goodness. You see, these things are so delicious, but we are so programmed to think that, I'm eating all these vegetables, I'm on a diet. But if it tastes really good, why wouldn't you eat that stuff? So, attempting to lose weight too fast, I have a story about that. A woman was in my class, and she was losing weight like every single week, like 3 or 4 pounds. Now you've been here long enough. That's not a good. And I kept saying, "How are you doing?" And she says, "Well, I'm just having tuna with lemon, and I'm just having this little salad, and blah blah blah." I mean, you're really, really shining me on. It's not right. But what she was really doing was 500 calories a day.
That's not good.
And the worst part about it was she was so weak from eating so little food, she fell down the stairs and broke her leg. Now, not everyone's going to fall down the stairs and break their legs, but you are going to get dizzy. You are going to you're not going to have any immune, you know what I mean? You're not going to have any you're not having anything of any good. And the minute she stopped doing it, she gained the 50 pounds she lost, and 10 friends came along.
Yeah.
So she gained 60 pounds in, honestly, like 2.5 months.
Wow.
Of course, the broken leg didn't help, because now she wasn't even moving. So everything, her whole body got messed up. And since she's been back with me, you know, with the broken leg and, you know, everything's fixed now, she has a very difficult time. And let's face it, that woman can deprive herself. And, you know, a lot of us cannot do that. Okay, another weight loss mistake is avoid weightlifting. Now, what women love to say is, oh, I don't want to weight lift, I'll bulk up. Okay. No, you won't bulk up. You know, you have to lift really, really heavy weights, and you have to eat this very high protein diet and have protein powder, and there's all sorts of, there's a whole thing to it about what you have to do in order to build muscles. You know, like you see those women who have those muscles.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to us.
No.
All this is going to do is make you strong. And, you know, that's really important. As we grow older, you want to have balance, you want to have strength, and, you know, every now and then you might want to go, look at that. I love that muscle. It makes me feel so good. Weight and muscle takes up less space than fat. So let's say this is the fat, this is the muscle. So even if you hadn't lost weight, you would still look thinner. What's the other way to look thinner? You know. Stand up straight.
Oh, stand up, yeah.
Yeah, and hold your stomach in at the red lights.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that, when you sit up straight now and just hold your stomach in,
Right.
you'll see your shoulders go back, everything changes, and it's good for you to stand up straight anyway. But, you know, but I found that when I was doing that really regularly, I would hold my stomach in at other times when I wasn't at the stoplight. When I caught myself doing that, I was so thrilled. It was way, you know, it was like I was like, oh, I'm holding my stomach in. That should be, I should really be patting myself on the back over it. Here we go, cutting fat out of your diet. No, you can't cut fat out of your diet. But you can't have bad fat either. So we know that whole list of bad fats, but olive oil and butter. Don't have that, you know, that oleo or margarine or any of that stuff. You have to have the real stuff.
Coconut oil is good too.
Coconut oil, there's another good one.
That's good.
Look, in the islands, that's what Julie was saying today. In the islands, that's all they use is coconut oil, and those people are healthy as anything. Of course, they have fresh food, they grew it. It's, yeah, they live on an island. So, focusing on weight loss over fat loss. You know what? If you're eating really healthy and you're trying to get a little movement in, you got to give yourself some credit for doing that.
Yeah.
You know, because that's important. And sometimes when we don't give our credit or it's not going fast enough, then we start to do crazy things. Or we go, oh, what the heck? I'm just going to have these 20 cupcakes.
Oh.
What the heck?
It's true though. Sometimes if you have a bad day, you decide you don't want to come in and get weighed. There's one thing that happens. Or you gained weight.
That's
so
what
now,
I thought. Remember, that's what I thought this week. I said I didn't want to come.
yeah.
So I said I gained weight, but I stayed the same.
So that was maintenance last week.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, you don't know that maintenance can be pretty good. Very reasonable sometimes. So, what about when we were making excuses? I can't.
I'm the queen of that.
Ah, the list. Oh, sweetheart, you're not by yourself, honest to gosh. You know, honestly.
Trying to come up with new ones all the time.
Oh, me too. I've done it 1,000 times. It's not, listen, this is the one I love the best because it's so sad because it's women. Because they say I have to lose weight. So they're going to go for a physical because they're sure their thyroid is messed up. And they go to the doctor and they have their thyroids checked.
There's nothing wrong.
And there's nothing wrong with their thyroid. And then they're disappointed that their thyroid is healthy.
Yep.
Why would you do that?
Looking to blame something.
Yeah, you have to blame anything but that you're putting food in your mouth.
Yep.
Which is
Exactly.
really, please, I had my thyroid checked 1,000 times. right? And everyone I know has had their thyroid checked. Now, people do have thyroid problems. I'm not saying that. But generally speaking, what happens is you go and it's not the problem.
Right.
But certainly there are people that have that problem.
I've been on medication for 10 years and I didn't lose a pound.
Well, see, that's
No
what
change.
that's what they think.
I can't think, okay, medication and all of a sudden it's going to be a weight loss miracle. It's just, it doesn't,
No,
you still have
it's-
to do the work.
It didn't work for anybody
yeah.
that I knew that ended up having to take thyroid medicine.
Sure.
Yeah, medication. And then I was listening to an ad last week for some pharmaceutical anti-anxiety pill, and it made me laugh so hard because it said, gave that horrible list. This anti-anxiety, so
Yeah.
may cause depression, suicidal tendencies. The list is endless of what it caused. I'm like saying, well, I'll just be depressed, or I'll just be anxious.
Just eat the
what
20 cupcakes.
Yeah, I'll just eat cupcakes and fall asleep because sugar. But then it said may cause weight loss. And I thought to myself, how many women saw that commercial and immediately went to their doctor and says, yeah, I don't want my anti-anxiety medicine anymore. I want this kind.
Right.
Yep.
Because they think it will do that. It was a time there was an antidepressant that they said would do that.
Yep.
But it was in like a 1% of the population. Otherwise, believe me, if there was a pill that would help you lose weight,
We'd all be thin.
we would all be thin. It would be all over. There's no pill that makes you lose weight. Darn. I really would like that. How about focusing on setbacks? Yeah, that's never good either. You have a setback, okay. It's a setback. That's what real life is about. You have a setback, you didn't get to go, you didn't get to work out, or you gained a couple pounds because you went on vacation, then you just get right back on and you take care of it and you don't focus on the setback, because this is a lifestyle change, not just a quick fix. So we have to, you have to think about that. Oh, I love this one. Overhauling your whole food like I'm going on a diet on Monday. So you clean out the refrigerator, you clean out all the cabinets of all the junk, which isn't a bad idea, because let's face it, if you don't have it in your house, you can't eat it. So it makes sense. However, to do something so radically different, if you're not really planned and prepared to do that, like having really good food and planning and preparing that Sunday and having everything all set up, you will feel so depressed that you won't, most people don't even make it to Friday. So focusing on setbacks and is just, I'm sorry, overhauling your eating habits overnight is never, ever good. So giving up certain foods altogether. Well, did we give up fat altogether? Pretty much. I don't think I was having any fat at all during that time. We would go to the restaurant and then we would have the chef make, don't put any oil in it. I don't think I had any oil for probably 2 months. I know, wrong. This is many years ago. And I just gained weight, so, because I was having big bowls of pasta. So only dieting and not exercising. You need to have a little exercising. You really need that, because really, even if you don't want to build muscle or you don't, whatever, you need exercise for your head. When your head's on straight, don't you think you do better? I definitely do better. I'm an endorphin queen. Trying to eat as little as possible, no good. Giving up too easily. Now, I see that happening all the time. Somebody will come to class, they'll be here for 6 weeks, they'll lose 3 pounds. I'll never see them again. Because what they really expected to lose in 6 weeks is all the weight they gained last year, which might have been 25. This, do you ever hear anything? I'm going to lose 50 pounds by December. That's what they think. But that is not a good plan. Never, never, never. Here's one you'll really like, confusing healthy with low calorie.
Doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work that way. Don't eat any of that low fat stuff. It's just loaded with sugar and sodium, right?
Read your labels.
Read your
Yeah,
labels.
that's important.
Because even when you're reading the labels, the serving sizes are different in like every box of cereal has a different serving size. Nothing is on the regular side. So unrealistic expectations, which we've talked about, taking weight loss supplements, some things can work. And you know what? How could it hurt? Like diet foods and drinks is what they really mean. And you know, you could go down the aisle like CVS, and you know none of that stuff is FDA approved, or what was the stuff you call, what is it, UVA or approved?
You want everything you want everything to be approved, but if you read the labels, then you'll know what's in it. And a lot of people will see the label and there'll be sugars, there'll be names of sugars that are disguised because the manufacturers don't want you to know that it's sugar. But
Right.
if it's a sugar, then it's not healthy. And if the first 3 ingredients are sugars, then the whole product you're looking at is mostly all sugars. So
Right, exactly. So you should absolutely not. Okay, so that's really honestly, there's no quick fix. You just have to, don't diet at it and have a healthy week. Thanks for stopping by. See you next week. These weight loss mistakes, I made every single one of them and learned the lesson very slowly.